Something I noticed, because after I read a book, I always check reviews at least a little bit to see if I'm understanding what readers who enjoy the book and who don't like the book, if my own view can be changed or strengthened by their view. And something I noticed consistently came up, and this is it's a slight spoiler, but I think it must be a good one. Is I noticed a number of reviews saying, "Don't worry, the dog lives."
Yes, he is alive. Every time I do an event, I want to wear a t-shirt that's like Cosmo lives the whole way through. Just in my mind, he is like the bionic dog. He just keeps going. He's just infinitely 13 years old. So yeah, that was something that was really important to me. And it's actually, to me, I should have expected it, but I actually found it quite shocking, like the amount of people who were like, you can't kill Cosmo. It's like, I was never planning on killing him. Like, there's a point in there where he minorly injures his paw, and like that destroyed me to give him like a little bit of a paw injury where he ends up being completely fine. So no, there was never a point where I was going to kill him off. And I think that has obviously been a trend in dog novels of, it feels, and no kind of offense to anyone who's done this in their books, but it feels a little bit like a cheap emotional trick to kill the dog at the end. Let's just see them live their lives, and there are other things that we can do to kind of bring in the tears. But when you have connected with this character, I still remember the first book that ever made me cry, which is a book called Where the Red Fern Grows, and Dan and Anne, and I wanted to throw that book across the room. I was so not just upset, but also just angry that this had been done to me, of like, you fall in love with these dogs and then I've kind of promised my readers that I will actually never kill an animal in any of my books, and I very much plan to keep that promise, because I like animals in their state of being alive.
I think it was Aaron Bowe. Go back and check, esteemed audience, on a previous episode, who mentioned Where the Red Fern Grows, and that it had so angered her that she wrote another book in spite, or with spite for that book. She wanted to do a better version. So I think it's upset and possibly inspired entire generations of writers.
Yeah, I've heard a really interesting thing about Wilson Rawls recently, who's the author of Where the Red Fern Grows, that he burned all of his manuscripts. So he had all of these books. I think he had like 20 other books that he burned all of them. And I think it was his wife who saved Where the Red Fern Grows, like from a fire. Maybe I'm getting this completely wrong, but yeah, he was a notorious self-critic. So, which just feels highly dramatic if you're just burning all of your work. But he's the same person who wrote a very dramatic book. So I think that it makes sense. It all makes sense now.
Well, sometimes when I read about writers acting odd and having certain proclivities, it makes me calm down. Like, I'm doing all right. So far, so good. Although, to the best of my knowledge, my story is not over yet, so we'll see.